Sibos is the annual meeting of SWIFT. So it's a global meeting place for many institutions, financial institutions from all over the world. Each of them come to the conference with their own perspective. I'm now joined by Ed Thurman. He's head of financial institutions at Lloyds Banking Group. So Ed, hi.
Hello.
So in previous meetings of Sibos, when we ask what are the big themes, it's always regulation, regulation. So this year, how is that regulation theme different?
I mean, I don't think there's any doubt, to be honest, that there will be another theme for this year. And I'm a bit schizophrenic around the regulatory piece. Banks tend to get into a bit of a funk around regulation. They see it as a huge tidal wave of awfulness that's sort of heading towards them. The reality is you have to break it down bit by bit. And I think if you were to look at the full regulatory landscape and you think about what's going on around structural reform, conduct, etc., it can be overwhelming. And I think, no doubt, we'll start to see some interesting debates at Sibos around, for example, payments. That's a perennial theme given the audience and given the attendees. But really, what we're going to be looking for and what we're going to be starting to sort of get clearer on is how we're picking apart the bits of regulation, how we're trying to respond to it, how we're trying to get in front of some of the problems that these regulations, which, let's face it, are not in all cases coordinated as well as they could be, and understanding how we try and solve that for our clients. That's really been the ethos that we at Lloyds have taken around interpreting and then reacting and responding to the changing regulatory environment.
Yeah, so now we've got sort of post-crisis and all this regulation, people are being a lot more focused on what they do and what they don't do. So you're obviously very clear in your minds what you're doing. So when you go to Sibos, what is it you're wanting to achieve when you meet the other people there?
So I think playing that through, I mean, one of the interesting things, I guess, sort of, we've all gone through the crisis at different times and experienced different impacts from the last few years. I think Lloyd's, having had its moment, if you like, quite early on, that enabled us to get very crystal clear on what we wanted to be and what we didn't want to be. And I think within the commercial banking area and within the transaction banking business, we're absolutely crystal clear that this is a space that we absolutely want to be in. It's a space that we're investing in heavily. I think the organisational commitment around building credible at-market and in some cases market-leading capabilities for our clients is absolutely, it's stronger than it's ever been before. Sibos is an opportunity for us to start to showcase that. We started to build up to it last year. This year is about, again, raising visibility. You'll see Lloyds in more plenary sessions, more on the thought leadership side. And also there's a very human element around Sibos as well. It's actually spending time with our clients, spending time with our key partners, and really reinforcing where we are on the journey and ensuring that the message around Lloyds as a safe, stable bank anchored in the UK, which is one of the most international financial marketplaces in the world, we're the people that people should want to do business with.
So at the end of Sibos, and let's say you're sitting here this time next year, how do you think the industry is going to be different? What are the big issues going to be in 12 months' time, do you think? So,
it's obviously very difficult to sort of try and sort of fortune tell what's going to happen. I mean, I think from my perspective, I think we'll see closer alignment of, certain, if you like, segments within the industry. So when I look at certainly on the banking side, the alliances, the potential partnerships, and we've put a few of these in place ourselves, around players where there is a natural symmetry, either in terms of geographic fit or in terms of product capability. And again, my focus as a head of financial institutions is to really ensure the networks that we have in place are entirely appropriate to deliver the kind of services and propositions that our clients want. And that means working ever more closely with selected partners. And I think that's a clear theme. It's one which we're starting to focus on, and one which I think the industry will.
Okay, brilliant.